little bit longer of a lesson. In this lesson we're going to create an electronic switch that's going to turn the music on and off, and just like a light switch turns the lights on and off, it's going to turn the music on and off. So the first step in creating a switch is to create the variable that we're going to use to program it. So you're going to go down here to variables, and you're going to click make a variable. You're going to call it switch. And for all sprites, the default settings are perfect. Okay, so now that we have this switch variable created, we need an on and off button. Now our off button we're going to make be our sprite, where if we click on our sprite, it will set the switch to 0, which we're going to program to be off. So you can see right here, it'll set it to 0 and it'll be off. And then we need another second sprite, a musical sprite, that will turn it on. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to choose a sprite, and I'm just going to type in music. You find something that you like. Um, I might do, I usually do drums. Let's do something a little different. Let's just do, I don't know, a guitar. That'll work. Okay, so I now have a guitar and I have my sprite. So now we need to add the code to change the switch between the values of 0 and 1. And that's actually very, very easy. If I go to my sprite here, I'm going to grab a set my variable block and change it to switch. So set switch to 0. And I want that 0 is going to be off. That's perfect for our dancing sprite, for our little avatar. And we want that to be activated, if you go to events, when this sprite is clicked. So now, when the sprite is clicked, so over here in the preview window, when I actually click on it with the mouse, it'll set the switch to 0. Now I want to do the exact same thing with the guitar, but instead of 0, I want it to be 1. And I could make this code, but there's a shortcut. If you want to have very similar code in two sprites, right now this is empty. If I grab this code, hold on to it, drag it over on top of the guitar and release, it looks like it didn't do anything because it flung back. Well, it put my dancer code back where it was, but if I click on my guitar, I now have a copy of it. The only difference is I want the music on when I click on the guitar, so I'm going to change the 0 to a 1. All right, so now if I make this a little bigger and we test it, if I click on the sprite, it's 0. Click on the guitar, it's 1. 0, 1. Okay, so the switch is working, but all it's doing is changing a value between 0 and 1. We now want to program the sprite to actually have the music stop using that switch. So to do that, we're going to go back to the sprite where we have all of our sound files, which is our dancer. And I want you to grab a when the green flag is clicked and a forever, same as we've used before. Okay. And we're going to also grab an if then block. We're going to go to an operators, choose a blank equal to 50 block. And finally, we're going to go to variables and pull out the switch. So we did a when clicked forever, if then block, an operator block of blank equals to 50, and pulled out the switch variable. So it'd be a good idea to pause this and go ahead and do the same with your file. All right, so now that you have those blocks, oh, I don't want that. Now that you have those blocks, let's take a look here and let's put this all together so that it will stop the music. So we're going to take our operator block and put it inside of our if then block and put that inside of our forever. We're going to take the switch variable and put that inside of the first blank. So now we have forever if switch is equal to 50. Well, we don't want 50. We want 0. 0 is going to be off. So forever if the switch is equal to 0, it's going to do this. Well, what do we want it to do? We want it to stop all sounds. So to do that, you're going to go to the sound category, pull out the stop all sounds block. So now our program says forever if the switch is equal to 0, which it will be if we click on this sprite, it will stop all the sounds. If it's not 0, if it's 1 by clicking on the guitar sprite, the music should play. So you can test your file, click the green flag. We have animation, we have music. If I click on the sprite, you can see the music stops. It might make a tapping sound because we're just doing a very simple version of the code. If I click on the guitar, it continues up again. So that's on, off, on. All right. So if you were able to do that, you have successfully made your switch. you can go up to File, Save a Copy Now for Lesson 4. Now, in this example, we just use the switch to turn music on and off. When you are actually writing a program or making a game, a switch might be keeping track of lives or giving you points, or it could be a power up or going to the next level. You can make switches do all kinds of things. So that is the end of Lesson 4.